Hello and welcome back to Pokémon White version, where today we have a Mistralton gym to take care of, and we still have shiny Mewtwo's to hunt in Ultra Space. Or I guess a shiny Mewtwo to hunt. We're not hunting more than one. That would be kind of silly. Yes, when we left off, we had just reached Mistralton City. Hey, we can buy TMs here. And they're not TMs that I particularly care about. Hey there, Nick. Forget whether this house has anything interesting to it. Ah, isn't this like the move deleter? Yep. And here's the reminder, girl. Sometimes when a Pokemon evolves, it can be reminded of something interesting. But in this case, nope, not really. Oh, hey, Redmond, right? Let me see your Pokédex for a moment. What do we have here? So you found 68 Pokemon, eh? That was almost nice. Staggering! You've seen a Clink! You're becoming quite the trainer! Excuse me, I was a little excited and forgot my manners. My name is Juniper too, Cedric Juniper. Heh, the professor who gave you the Pokédex is my daughter. That girl has told me a lot about you. It really makes my day to meet you. In honor of our meeting, I'm going to upgrade your Pokédex. Some Pokemon can change forms even when it's the same individual. If you've already seen a form, you can check it with this whenever you want. I also added a function to make searching easier. Professor, who's that trainer? Oh, I forgot my introductions. Skyla, this is a friend of my daughter's. Redmond is traveling around Unova to complete the Pokédex. Oh, I see. So that means you'll be challenging the gym. Oh boy, I'm really looking forward to it. That's right, Redmond. You should challenge this gym. If nothing else, this gym is really out there. See you, Skyla. If something comes up again, I'll let you know. Professor, my plane is a cargo plane. It carries cargo, not people. And you're talking as if places like Kanto and Sinnoh are right around the corner. Aw, Skyla, if you keep frowning, your face might freeze like that, and that'd be a shame. People in Pokemon, we all have to help each other out. See you later. Sheesh. It's hard to believe a happy-go-lucky guy like that could be a world-renowned Pokemon professor. Heads up, Redmond. As gym leader, I'd be happy to have you challenge the gym, but there's something I need to take care of first. Just now, as I was flying the cargo plane, I saw something on top of the Celestial Tower. I'm sure that it is a sick Pokemon. If it is, I can't just leave it there. I have to look into this right away. I'm leaving for Route 7 Celestial Tower. You can come along if you want. The only planes that fly out of Mistralton Airport are cargo planes. If trainers want to fly, they can go with a Pokemon that knows the move fly. Of course, the fact that only cargo planes fly out of here is going to change in Black 2 and White 2. But for now, it's true. And this right here is one of the version differences. We've got fields instead of greenhouses. Ooh, so rustic. If you want to eat delicious vegetables, the ones grown in the wild are the best. As the weather and the seasons change, wild vegetables get more and more tasty. Even Pokemon like to eat wild vegetables. Pokemon and people work together to open up desolate land and make a place where everyone could live. I'm certain that this cooperative spirit will remain unchanged. I hear many people have had their Pokemon stolen by Team Plasma. You see field after field located near the runway. Freshly picked vegetables can be sent to faraway regions very quickly. Cannons! Cannons! Skyless Gym is full of cannons! And that inspired the title. If you have a gym badge from Mistralton, I'll tell you something cool. Well, I guess we'll have to remember to go back and talk to him. Okay, who do I have in front right now? Duosion. Duosion's a good choice, okay. Good ol' encounter on the first tile. I've already encountered and destroyed a deerling. This deerling cannot come with us. That raised walkway. If you stand still, you'll fall off, so you have to keep moving. Oh, bold enough to come talk to me, or are you? You're quite the trainer. I like you. Take this TM. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a real good one. When a Pokemon uses Charge Beam, sometimes its special attack goes up. If you're lucky, the power will just keep going up. Having an electric TM to teach. Just before the flying gym leader, who has a water flying ace, would have been a whole lot better if Duosion could learn it. I wanted to go to the Celestial Tower, but I got lost and stranded. My guy, you're on a path. I really don't like Simisear. I don't like it one bit. It is my least favorite of the elemental monkeys. And the elemental monkeys are already among my least favorite Pokemon in general. I know every Pokemon is somebody's favorite, but Simisear is not mine. To go to the Celestial Tower, walk along the road, that's right. If you keep walking, someday you'll arrive at your destination. Yeah, dude said he got lost. He's on a path. Kid, have you caught any Boldore? If you have, would you trade your Boldore for my Emolga? I see. Well, come talk to me again if you change your mind. I love the Pokemon moves Mega Drain and Giga Drain. Your opponent's HP is reduced and the user's HP increases. That's twice now I've gotten an encounter on my first tile stepping into this grass. I already have a Tranquil, this one cannot come with us. Oh! Oh? What? That's not a Pokemon, just an ordinary trainer.
You'll find I'm anything but ordinary, kid.
And slurping up that whole Palpitoad. I can't slurp up a Scolipede. Does Whirlipede evolve before then? Hang on. Nope, that is an illegal Scolipede. They found it in the wild at that level. That Scolipede has Scolipeded one level prematurely. Whirlipede evolves at level 30. Thanks, Hustle. Thanks, Hustle. Can't wait till this thing evolves and loses Hustle. Have you heard that when tall grass waves in the breeze, a rare Pokemon jumps out? I mean, most of the time, it's an Audino that jumps out. And when it's mostly Audino, can you really call it that rare? Sometimes you find more than just strong Pokemon in the tall grass. This Duat has reminded me of something. My, distortion hunting in Pokemon Legends Arceus is actually done. Got the last Sneasel I needed last night, and thus I am done getting Pokemon that are exclusive to distortions. So hooray for that. Though it turns out a mistake I made doomed me to another playthrough of Pokemon Legends Arceus at some point. I would have sworn that my second run through the game I would have chosen Adaman, so that I could get a Dialga in a standard Poké Ball. And also so that I could, you know, see Adaman's side of things. But, turned out I had chosen Irida on the second one. And thus, on my third playthrough, the one that I'm doing right now, I also chose Irida. And thus, all 3 times I have chosen Irida. Which... yeah, I guess... that's just the way things go. And thankfully, Defeatist was not activated, so Acrobatics gets to do its full damage. I will grow better and better by fighting Pokemon in the tall grass. A Zebstrika is new to us, and therefore we are allowed to take it home. Which means yet another time where... I mean, they already gave us Joltik and... ooh, that was close. Yeah, they already gave us access to Joltik and to Tynamo prior to Skyla, but... I guess they also give us access to Zebstrika prior to Skyla. Like, immediately. They really don't want you going into gym battles without a super effective Pokemon. Zebstrika, the Thunderbolt Pokemon. This ill-tempered Pokemon is dangerous because when it's angry, it shoots lightning from its mane in all directions. We're almost out of the grass. Oh, hey, look, another Zebstrika. That's probably not going to end well for my Duosion. Ooh. Dang it. Yeah, whatever. Okay, now we can actually go get some heals. Party kinda needs it right now. Problem with running on those. It's easy to accidentally go over a corner. Triple battles are 3-on-3 Pokemon battles. I will overpower you with my perfect combination and overwhelming attack power. It's always interesting when you get basically forced into a triple battle. Okay. So, thankfully, Duosion's on the opposite side of that there Liepard. Thanks. Wait, what? I missed with Psyshock? Or was it the Watchog that used a move and missed? I don't even know at this point. Okay, it was the Watchog that used a move and missed. That's fine then. And then these two can go for the Liepard. Nice crit. Hey there, Crab. Run's been going just fine. Last stream felt long, but that's because I was real tired basically the whole time. Oh yeah, things have been going just fine here. In fact, we're pretty close to releasing the whole reason I'm doing this run in the first place. The balance of 3 Pokemon, each with its own role. I still have to do more research. Oh, a Pokédex! I see, that is the reason for your journey. I mean, yeah, you could argue that the Pokédex is the reason for my journey. Considering I'm trying to make a living one with every form of every Pokemon from the game they debuted in, and also remakes of the games they debuted in, caught in specifically a standard Pokeball. Yes, you can in fact argue that the Pokédex is the reason for my journey. Hey there, Guard. I'm doing fine. Hope you are too. Actually got a nice package in today. My Japanese Pokemon game collection is growing. I've heard that both Professor Junipers were backpackers when they were young. I believe you mean Professors Juniper. That's the way to progress. Ooh, we got shaky grass, but I don't know that I'm able to get to it without triggering a battle. with one of these rangers. I'll show you our style. My Pokemon and nature are in harmony. Crab, that does sound like a fantastic route for shiny Zygarde hunting. Legit tempted to ask if I can join you on it, because I still need to get a shiny Zygarde from Dynamax Adventures. Well, so much for Duosion. And with this, we have seen all 3 evolved elemental monkeys on this route. And of course, the Scald got the burn. Why wouldn't it? Rip that shiny Glalie, Crab, but at least it was just a Glalie. Like, shiny Glalie, there's any number of games you can get those in. The fact that you can do bench resets for them in Legends Legends ZA, rather, really makes it so that shiny Glalie's value as just a standalone shiny is... well, they're easy to come by. Won't say they're not valuable, but they're easy to come by. What do you let your Pokemon have? What is their style? Well, I'll tell you what I don't let them have. It's an Aspear Berry. First, we'll create our own style. Because I'm hopeless at social niceties and fashions. Well, at least you're honest about it. And aware of it. I believe we can get heals in here? Oh my, your Pokemon team. It seems all worn out. Rest for just a moment now. I'm making a delicious soup with well-stewed vegetables. Since her yammering stops while she's cooking, it's another bonus for me. Wow. Granny's meals are always nothing but vegetables. It takes 20 or even 30 years for a tree to be fully grown. Will you have a Pokemon battle that pleases the trees? I don't know if my Pokemon battle will please the trees, but I don't know how to do that. Yeah, Crab, you can also very easily get a shiny Glalie in Scarlet and Violet. Now, there's any number of games where you can get shiny Glalie without too much trouble. I said earlier about how my Japanese Pokemon game collection is growing. I didn't say which games came in. Got my Japanese Emerald, which the card itself looks great. The label is in just really good condition. There's like one little crinkle on a tiny bit of one edge of the label, but other than that, it's looking quite nice. Only issue with the card itself is I'm going to have to replace its battery, but I've replaced the batteries on all of my other GBA Pokemon games, and in fact, all of my Game Boy games with batteries in them to begin with. It's something I can do. So yeah, that's not going to be an issue. This is what a tree gave me. And then I also got 4 DS games, Diamond, Pearl, Black, and White. It's slow business growing a tree. No need to rush. Raise strong Pokemon slowly. Yeah, Crab, I would never in my life tell someone not to take a shiny Zygarde if they get the chance. And like, as far as joining you on that route goes, like, I would... It would have to somehow match both of our schedules, which... Yeah, not the easiest. Especially when I don't publicize my schedule. And yeah, even when sharing a route for someone else, if you get it before them, then yep, sucks to be them. Some people get around that by running 2 systems at once and joining their own route. But even then, if the game that has the route is the one that gets the shiny first, then yeah, that's still route complete. Someday I'll get out of this grass. And someday I'll get confused without hitting myself first. Well, now we know this Watchog's entire moveset. I'm pretty sure by this point in the game, my luck with confusion has had it be a roughly 90% chance of hitting yourself. Should really change at least one of the moves on Duat. Can it use payback? It cannot. Can it use thief? It cannot. Well, I know it can learn return. Not that return's going to help us in here, but it certainly will help us for Skyla. Being able to have a move capable of dealing super effective damage, or not super effective, of doing neutral damage to a Swanna is... well, let's just say I want to be able to do it. They say that when you ring the bell on top of this tower, it pleases the resting spirits. Here's a celestial tower where Pokemon are laid to rest. Indescribable energy is flowing to me. Yeah, Guard, I'm kinda with you in hoping Litwick shows up, but also I wouldn't mind at all getting a Golett. I like Golett. Forget whether Golett's available in this tower if it's later on. Either way, I've already got a fire type in the form of Monkey. And I don't feel pressured to add another fire type to the party. Admittedly, I already have a ground type as well, but still. So now we know Sigilif outspeeds my otter, but that's not a surprise, considering we know my otter has horrible speed stats. You know what? If I find a Golett, I'm gonna kick Archon off the team. And we'll use Golett. And then we'll kick Krokorok off the team and bring back Boldor. That sounds like a good thing to do. Because Golurk can learn Fly, which is always hilarious to me. And unlike a certain bird, it doesn't have Defeatist. Guard, they can't be equal in base stat speed to both Kyogre and Groudon, because those two have different speed stats. A lot of energies are swirling around the world, including hopes and dreams. Meow, meow, meow. This sign means have a battle with me. Yeah, Guard, Kyogre's base speed is 90, but... Oh, Groudon's is also 90. What? Since when were they the same speed? Could have sworn that Kyogre was faster, because... And that made it so that Groudon was not completely outclassed, because its Drought would activate, like, all the time. Hey there, Electabuzz. Crustle is pretty neat, not gonna lie. I don't dislike it. Yeah, I could have sworn that Kyogre was faster than Groudon, but I guess not. Yeah, even Primal Kyogre and Groudon are speed 90. Weird. Don't know how I got it in my head that Kyogre was faster. Meow, meow, meow. I'm copying the Pokemon I used to live with. When Pokemon trainers meet, what we do is, of course, engage in a Pokemon battle, don't we? Well, we're not leaving Duod in front of an electric type, that's for sure. And yet if I swap to Krokorok, it'll just get paralyzed by static. We know this to be true. And therefore, Duocean. And now for this Emolga to use infinite double teams just because. Cool, I can't take another acrobatics like that, so I guess we're swapping to Krokorok after all. Well, at least we managed to land a hit on it. Oh, Krokorok's gone. Is this Emolga gonna tear its way through my entire party? At this rate, it might. Archon would not be a smart idea. But then again, Darumaka's not much better. We gotta go through Hustle and those double teams to hit it with this thing. And we're not gonna get another Fire Punch. Lilligant can't do effective damage against this thing, and it's weak to acrobatics. But if we land a Giga Drain, it'll probably still score the KO. Yeah. Nice crit. Perhaps I meet people here because of guidance from my Pokemon. Oh, you want to have a battle with me? All right, I have a strong Pokemon. Well, it's a shame I lost my Fire Monkey. Well, at least my Duat didn't low roll the third and fourth returns like it apparently did the first two. The Pokemon is no longer with me. That's not true. As long as I remember, it will be with me forever. Will-O-Wisp is nice and all, but I don't think I'm going to teach it to anyone. And there's our encounter for this tower. What is it? A Litwick. I do not mind a Litwick. Not one bit. I actually rather like Litwick. But I've used Litwick on a run before, so I'm probably going to stick to Darumaka for my fire type. And now I need to figure out how to weaken this thing without destroying it. The answer might be just put it to sleep. Litwick is one of those Pokemon that I like a whole lot more in 2D than 3D. Because look at him. In 2D here, he's got a happy little smile. He looks just so adorable. And in 3D, that's not a smile, it's a nose. It looks so much cuter when you can see it as a happy little smile and not as a nose. You know what? I bet this thing takes a Giga Drain. Yeah. And then it wakes up immediately and uses Will-O-Wisp, because of course it does. Litwick, the candle Pokemon. While shining a light and pretending to be a guide, it leeches off the life force of any who follow it. I think there's a doctor right on this next floor. I think wrong. Oh, hey, look, another Litwick. And yeah, Guard, when it comes to non-ghosts here, I believe, yes, you can find Mienfoo and Elgyem. I suppose it's Elgyem. Though if I'm not mistaken, Litwick is far and away the most common enemy in here. It feels weird describing a Pokemon as an enemy. I almost always say Pokemon. But here I said enemy. Why did I do that? That seems mean. That's not the person who heals us. There we go. Party all fixed up. Can we get to that? No, we cannot. Nice crit. Yes, guard, using Golurk to fly is fun, though admittedly it also really delays when you can actually start using fly. Golets don't evolve early. Thanks for the free burn. I will guess what you are. You are a Pokemon trainer. How did you know? I don't think Duat is the best choice for a Musharna. Everyone can make the effort to understand their opponent. It's true. I still want to fight. Wandering spirits command me. I had a Chandelure on my team from my first run of this game. Named that one Whisper. You gotta love when they use Amnesia faster than you can use your special move. But then you crit, so it doesn't even matter that they used Amnesia. Ha ha! In a way, the Celestial Tower is a space full of desires to live. What pleases sleeping spirits is a hot Pokemon battle. Oh, and I was right about there being a nurse on this floor. She just wasn't right at the start of it. Well, Guard, I can say with 100% certainty that the character in Fable named Whisper had zero bearing on my choice of nickname for my Chandelure, because I never played Fable. I'm sad that I can't have a Golett. Golurk is one of my favorite Pokemon. When I come here, at Celestial Tower, strangely, I feel the urge to fight. Does that prove I'm alive? I think there are other things that you could use to prove you're alive before getting the urge to fight when you come here. I'm here to understand the end of the world, but I don't quite get it. If I have a battle, will I be enlightened? I don't know how having a battle would enlighten you about the end of the world. Ouch. Thanks, Hustle. This battle would have been over already if not for Hustle. Yeah, Guard, I should have known that Duosion would get a KO there, but still. I mean, like, yeah, my Duosion's special attack is kind of monstrous for a middle stage. People, Pokemon, even if the world is gone, that is not the end. I feel sure of it. And I know there's a nurse right there. I'm going to use one of these revives, just so that Duat can get some more XP. And there's an Elgium. This tower really doesn't feel like the right place to encounter those. The problem with Duat fainting just then is it makes return weaker. I'm pretty sure Duat's fainted a good few times by now, which is why return isn't doing incredible damage. You need a nurse's help? Sure, if you can win against me, I'll make your Pokemon healthy. Alright, so this isn't for time reasons, but rather comfort reasons. I think I'm going to have to call this a stream as soon as I beat the Mistralton Gym. Because my nose has been itching basically the entire time this stream has been going on. And if this ends up like the last time I had a stream where that was happening, it's just going to get worse and worse. I'm going to start sneezing like constantly. And it's going to be no fun whatsoever. So yeah, I think once I beat the Mistralton Gym, I'm going to go ahead and call this a stream. Which will make it a short stream, but at least we'll have accomplished something. Also, hello to the Pokemon that everyone once thought was an evolution of Luvdisc. But which has nothing to do with Luvdisc at all. Okay, then time to give your Pokemon some energy. It's wonderful that each Pokemon and each person can do something special. Me, I know how to make Pokemon healthy. Who doesn't love getting accosted by a candle 1 or 2 steps away from a load zone? Celestial Tower means a perfect tower. Oh, never mind. Let's have a Pokemon battle. Celestial and perfect do not mean the same thing, sir. I do believe this is the first time we've seen a Stoutland. That takedown's not gonna tickle, that's for sure. We cannot take another. But an Aqua Jet may just finish this thing off. It didn't! And thus down goes Return's power a little more. I suppose I had too much faith in Aqua Jet. Oh no, it's faster than us! Here comes Defeatist! Does Stoutland naturally learn Ice Fang and Thunder Fang, or is this just an ace trainer being an ace trainer and having taught it fancy moves? I am far from perfect. I don't know how much value we'll get out of them, but... Careful there, guard. Revenge was not 240 base power because no one had been KO'd the move before. Okay, Duat can't get any more attack EVs from Protein. Just using these on it so that it gets a little bit of friendship back. Right, retaliate. Yeah, retaliate is not revenge. Was thinking different move. Oh yeah, revenge is in fact that strong if you've been hurt first. Correct. Pokemon that grew up in Unova and Pokemon that grew up elsewhere. Both rest here quietly. I don't know, given all the ghosts around, some of them aren't resting that quiet. Show me another crit in front of an amnesia. It didn't show me another crit in front of an amnesia. Oh, great. Now we gotta get through love. Which, in my experience in this run so far, is now a much higher chance than the last time. Last time, I'm pretty sure it took us 4 or 5 attempts to break through infatuation to hit something. But this time, we got it on the second try. Pokemon that grew up in Unova and Pokemon that grew up elsewhere. All are precious Pokemon. Yeah, actually, I don't think we can get Golett in this tower. I think it's the other place. The one that's, like, sealed up, but Team Plasma busts a hole in the wall to get in. Dragon Spiral Tower, that one. I think that's where you can get Goletts. You know what? Let's go avail ourselves of the nurse's services again. Oh boy, we might hit level 35 with this candle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this tower is where you come to do your special attack EV training. because Litwicks and Elgiums are all just special attack. Ooh, Shadowclaw's a good find. Do we have anyone who can learn it? We sure do. I'll slap it on Archon. Get rid of Dragon Breath. I would put Shadowclaw on Krokorok, but Dark already hits everything that Shadowclaw hits for super effective. So yeah, might as well just keep Crunch on Krokorok. Part of me wants to try and see if I can just one-shot these Litwicks with Aqua Jet, but considering that Aqua Jet has lower power than Water Pulse, it's probably less likely to get a one-hit KO. And we already outspeed them to begin with, so it's not like Water Pulse is having too much trouble. It's just the ones that are particularly special defensive manage to survive the Water Pulse. But I don't feel like Litwicks are ever very physically bulky, you know? Dang. Encounter rate on this floor seems considerably higher than that on previous floors. Oh, you came. Thank you. I was right. What I saw was a hurt Pokemon. Don't worry, though. It's fine now. How did you see it from a plane? I gave it a max revive. Then it felt better and flew away. Don't I have great eyesight? No matter how far away things are, a pilot's eyes can see them. That is untrue. Unless the Pokemon world is flat. Because, yeah, you can't see past the curvature of the Earth. Oh, that's right. Since you've come this far, why don't you ring the bell? Celestial Tower's bell is for soothing the spirits of Pokemon. Also, the character of the person ringing the bell is reflected in its sound. Okay. What a pretty sound. Redmond, you are a kind and strong person. It's that kind of sound. I'd like to introduce myself again. I'm Skyla, the leader of Mistralton's Pokemon Gym. I use Flying-type Pokemon. When you're ready, please come to the gym. I'll give you a big welcome. have been... Oh. Archon can't learn fly. I suppose it needs to evolve a little more. I was going to say I've been slacking on actually teaching the thing fly, but it's not that kind of bird, it seems. It occurs to me, I can settle this. And thus, I am going to be manipulating a third 3DS in the background. This one's not modded. I can't put its screen up on video or anything. But we're going to learn us a thing today. Let's find it. Where is it? That's not the one I want. There it is. All right. Getting the correct application loaded up. And scrolling over. There we go. We got our answer. Arkin. So yeah, that's it. Thank you, Pokédex 3D Pro. I figured it would probably be Arkin because it comes from Archaeopteryx. But yeah, with it being spelled the way it is, it just seems like it should be Archon. But no, it's Arkin. I wish they had an equivalent to Pokédex 3D Pro for modern games that they would keep updated so that we could hear the official pronunciation of every Pokemon's name and not just every Pokemon that existed up until Generation 6. Or sorry, every Pokemon that existed prior to Generation 6. Pokédex 3D Pro, despite being on the 3DS, doesn't even include any Pokemon that debuted on the 3DS. And we can't reach the shaky grass yet again. That is twice now I have tried to get to shaky grass on this route and gotten an encounter on the one tile of grass between the road and the shaky grass. Crab, everyone knows when you're not in the rain, Hurricane's accuracy is 0%. Everyone knows this. And to Mistralton Gym we go. The most dangerous gym perhaps in the entire franchise. Well, no, not in the entire franchise. There are some gyms with lava in them, and those ones, even if you assume it is impossible to fall into the lava, toxic fumes exist. Please take this fresh water. Just between you and me, rock, electric, ice, flying types have more weaknesses than people know about. If you use Pokemon and moves of those types, victory is practically yours. Using rock types, you're gonna get ruined by Swanna. Using ice types, Swanna's gonna take neutral damage. Electric is the only type where you're at a serious advantage. By the way, to proceed in this gym, you climb in the cannons to move forward. The cannons go up, down, left, and right. You can get in them from anywhere. So, launch yourself out of a cannon, and then just land hard on your feet. What a gym. Like, there's no padding or anything on the floor. This is a safety hazard, this gym. What do you think about the cannons? Isn't it great that you can experience how flying Pokemon feel? Yeah, but how about how landing Pokemon feel? How do they feel, huh? Next, experience the feeling of losing a Pokemon battle. They need at least padded, like big pads where you're gonna land, please. Yeah, Guard, as far as we've seen, fall damage only exists in Pokemon back in Legends Arceus. There is no other Pokemon game in which falling causes damage to people. That said, falling absolutely can cause damage to Pokemon. Hello, high jump kick. And weirdly enough, in Pokemon games prior to Pokemon Legends Arceus, fall damage didn't exist and we didn't even need freaking Rotom phones to explain it away. Rotom phones that would really only result in our characters' arms getting dislocated as we grab onto it to try to not splat on the ground. So our arms would get dislocated and we would still go splat if these games were at all realistic. I'll be stronger if I fight while thinking about Pokemon. Victory will come my way. In order to jump higher, I'm practicing really hard. Alright, ducklets are the reason we taught return to this duot. Ducklets and their line. Yeah, I don't think that Aqua Ring's really going to help you, Ducklet. Fun fact, I met the Aqua Ring in Resident Evil before the move Aqua Ring existed in Pokemon. And therefore, every single time I see a Pokemon use Aqua Ring, I think of Resident Evil. Specifically, the Aqua Ring theme from Resident Evil just plays in my head. Trainer, do you remember what you were told at the beginning? The cannons go up, down, left, and right. You can enter them from anywhere. How about that? I'm good at imitating him, aren't I? Time to pour some water on my otter. And then, since Lilligant is now the highest level Pokemon on my party, she kind of doesn't need the experience share. Well, she's tied for highest level Pokemon in the party. I became a pilot, which has been my dream since I was a child. I'm extremely strong. Bring it on! We'll see how strong you are. I do like Ducklet's cry. I'm not the biggest fan of Ducklet itself. It's got a weird silhouette, but I like its cry. Well, thankfully, light screen means nothing to my Crocorock. Nice crit. Would have been neat if I could have had a Sigilif on my party, but oh well. I became a pilot, making the dream of my younger days a reality. The weight is quite comfortable. Target lock acquired. I'll shoot you down with my flight technique. And there's the first unpheasant we've seen in the game. Dang it. I don't think we would have gone down if that wasn't a crit. But it was a crit, and therefore my return has been weakened. Joke's on you, that taunt is just a wasted turn in front of this Darumaka. Thanks, Hustle. Ooh, the double detect. Gonna go for the triple. Guard, what is happening is that this game and my luck in it have really been proving why my Nuzlocke run failed. I've had just generally atrocious luck in this run so far. And like, I've also gotten what feels like more crits than I should, but I've taken more crits than I should as well. Just... Oh, there's another crit! I don't like when my bird is slower than the things it's fighting. I also don't like when it flinches. Show me an Omni Boost. That's not an Omni Boost. Wow, what a fool using taunt when you're on red health. Sure, we learn crunch in this house. Hang on. Do we? I mean, putting it over agility is probably something I won't ever regret. Spending turns to set up on this bird is just asking to have Defeatist and activated. We can depend on a move that hits without fail when it counts. For example, Aerial Ace and Swift are both surefire moves. That last one was a huge waste of a hyper potion, but whatever. I don't like shattering my knees with every cannon launch. My plans are perfectly honed. I cannot lose. Like, just the sound of the landing. It doesn't sound like you had a comfortable landing. And of course I flinched. And of course it didn't show me a crit. It's not going to swing the RNG back in my favor. That would be too easy. And of course I flinched. That Swoobat is 2 for 2 on getting flinches with Air Slash on me. Thankfully, it's not 3 for 3. Encore can be a good move. Generally, it's better when used by something that isn't as freaking slow as my Duat, though, so we're gonna keep our old moves. Slash will probably be doing more than return at this point. Plus, with that high crit, could be nice. Check after check after check. Complacency leads to accidents. Yeah, let's see how Samurot's speed stacks up to the rest of my party at this point. So, speed 60. Okay, it outspeeds Darumaka. And it outspeeds Duosion. And that's it. Solidly number 4 out of 6 in the party. Behind a couple non-evolved Pokemon. Ow, my legs. And then there's that one. Say whatever you want about landing, not having fall damage in Pokemon games. But that right there, firing us straight into a wall. I believe we have grounds to sue this gym. I've been waiting for you. Did you see what just happened to my face? Like, your days of operating this gym are numbered, ma'am. Did you enjoy flying with the help of the Mistralton gym cannons? No, you need pads on every surface of this gym. They're my pride and joy. Think about the landing. This time, let's try something else. Please, let's. When I think about a match with a fabulous trainer like you, it's like I'm walking on air. And yep, there's a hyper potion. Show me a crit. Show me a crit. Actually, at this point, it just needs to be not a low roll. It was a low roll, but she's using another hyper potion because of course she is. Show me a crit. Was about to... had a premonition that it would be a crit from the other side. Anyway, hooray, it did in fact show me a crit. But for this unpheasant, I do believe we will be swapping off of Samurott. Let's swap to Bird. Admittedly, not necessarily the best of plans, but it's a plan. Bird can be helpful. Bird resists that. I don't like when my bird is slower than the things it's battling, especially when it's a higher level. But then again, my bird isn't evolved. Show me an Omni Boost. That's not an Omni Boost. But hey, if they're just quick attacking, Defeatus still isn't active. Show me an Omni Boost. No Omni Boost still. Flare Blitz, you say? I'll get rid of Fire Fang for that. This is my last Pokemon, but I'll never give up hope. Show me Swanna using, like, Aqua Ring and me an Omni Boost. That's not Aqua Ring. Okay. So, I did level up Duosion specifically to try and deal with Swanna. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to get it to learn an electric-type move by this point, but I couldn't. Thankfully, Psyshock should still do some noticeable damage. Alright, Aerial Ace ain't gonna one-shot my Duosion, we win. Being your opponent in battle is a new source of strength for me. Thank you. I think that's what she said. I'm just going on vibes for the last line there. You're an amazing Pokemon trainer. My Pokemon and I are happy because for the first time in a while, we could fight with our full strength. This is an official League Gym badge. I think it will look good on you. And yet it's going in the badge case and not on me. Wow, hot stuff. With that many gym badges, Pokemon up to level 70 will obey you. Also, as thanks for a Pokemon battle that made me very happy, I want you to have this TM. My present to you is Acrobatics. If the user doesn't have a held item, its power doubles. It's a pretty technical move. Be sure to compensate for the lack of a held item. By the way, when I flew over Twist Mountain on the way to Asira City, Team Plasma, is that the name? Anyway, they were heading for the city. What kind of people are they?
A bunch of jerks, mostly. A bunch of people who have been duped. And a bunch of people doing the duping. Ow, my knees!
They may say it is for understanding one another better, but what trainers really use battles for is to compete. And they hurt each other's Pokemon. Am I the only one who finds this terribly painful? Whatever. I'm going to talk to your Pokemon. I've been living with Pokemon since I was born, so it's easier for me to talk with them than with people. Because Pokemon never tell lies.
That is untrue. If Pokemon never told lies, then we wouldn't know about Malamar doing the things it does and changing people's personalities and etc., etc. There are some Pokemon who are known liars.
Hey, Samurott, would you tell me what kind of trainer Redmond is? Okay, got it. So Redmond was born in Nuvema Town, lives with Mom, and was given the Pokédex to start off a journey to see the world.
How would Samurott know I was born in Nuvema Town?
Still, this Samurott trusts you for some reason. That's good. If every person in Pokemon cared about one another like you two do, I could watch over the future of people and Pokemon without having to liberate Pokemon for people who just use them. Getsus is using Team Plasma to search for some special stones, the Light Stone and the Dark Stone. These stones held the essence of two legendary Pokemon. It's said that when they lost their physical form, they fell into a slumber and were transformed. Now they wait for the hero's arrival. I shall resurrect the legendary Dragon-type Pokemon from one of these stones and become its friend. That will show the world that I am the new hero. Everyone will follow what I say. My vision is to change the world without using force. Trying to change the world by force will just make others resist. If people resist, the ones that will be hurt are the innocent Pokemon used by foolish trainers. You understand. Pokemon are not just tools for people to use. As a result, Pokemon and trainers who care about one another, like you and your Pokemon, will be separated. And that does break my heart a little.
Yeah, Guard, I haven't played the Mystery Dungeon games, but I can definitely assume that it shows Pokemon lying.
Oh, there's a person in here who said that they had something neat to say after we got the Mistralton badge. Wow, a jet badge! You won against Skyla! Okay, I'll tell you something cool. We left our treasure at the edge of the runway.
Well, I guess let's go get that treasure. I guess the game wants me to actually use the item finder here, huh? Oh. This wasn't here before. I guess that's the treasure, huh?
Oh, you found our treasure! Found it! Just kidding. We don't have a Pokemon, so we plan to hide this TM until we got one.
You plan to hide it in plain sight at the end of the runway?
But that would be a waste, so here, you can use it. We'll get another one from Skyla. You can use it. See you. Bye-bye.
Skyla doesn't give out Aerial Ace TMs. She gives acrobatics. Also, we've got another known liar of a Pokemon. It's not called Truthbird. Ah, Skydrop. A move that can completely break battles if used in a specific way. Another known liar of a Pokemon, Sudowoodo. In fact, its Japanese name makes it even clearer. Because, yeah, Sudowoodo, it's pseudo as in fake or false, wudo as in wood. But in Japanese, its name is Usoki, which uso means lie, ki means tree, so it's a lie tree. But also, it's got a little pun in there because usoki, the little doubling of the consonant for the ki, is accomplished with a small tu. And if the tu was full size, then it would be usotsuki, which just means liar. So yeah, they use the same characters that you would use to spell liar, but then they made the tu small to make it instead be you double the consonant that follows it. So went from usotsuki to usoki. And that's not the only Pokemon that they did a similar thing for. Dunsparce, for example, its Japanese name is Nokochi, which is made with the same characters, though flipped a little bit, like Tsuchinoko, which is what Dunsparce is based on. It's based on the Tsuchinoko, a cryptid. But instead, it's Noko Tsuchi, except again, the Tsu is small, so becomes Nokochi. Anyway, discussion of Japanese Pokemon names and the puns involved, and also Pokemon that lie aside. That's the last Mewtwo we're checking today, and this is going to be it for this stream, because nose still itchy. Thanks, folks, for dropping by to watch and chat and all that. I will be back on Thursday for more Pokemon White. See you then, friends.